gone on to win 73% of their series all time. And with this series tied at 1, the importance of tonight is crystal clear. And good evening, everyone. Kevin Harlan with a couple of All-Stars, Hall of Famers, Candace Parker, along with Dwayne Wade, and our sideline reporter tonight is Allie Clifton. Candace, what a dominant performance by the Spurs in Game 2 down in Texas.
Yes, and it was led by De'Aaron Fox and Wembanyama. If you talk about their impact in setting the tone from the jump. But what we really want to talk about is Wemby. In 6 playoff games, of course, NBA record 12 blocks, but his impact to me is in the intangible plays. He disrupts and deters both sides of the ball. He's Defensive Player of the Year, top 3 MVP finalist. And because of his size and versatility, he's able to impact his teammates' game as well.
Well, it's Stephon Castle right here. His game starts with force. When he's attacking downhill and attacking gaps like this and putting pressure on the defense in the rim, San Antonio feeds off that energy. And Dylan Harper, he's fearless. When he's playing downhill, it's a scary sight for defenses. But De'Aaron Fox, when he's aggressive, this Spurs team feels different. When he's attacking downhill, it gets him going offensively. And once that happened in Game 2, the floor opened up, and it was a party for everyone wearing the San Antonio Spurs uniform.
Indeed it was. Speaking of De'Aaron Fox, moments ago, our Allie Clifton caught up with the terrific player out of Kentucky for San Antonio.
Thanks so much, Kevin. De'Aaron coming into a pivotal Game 3. What have you learned about what it takes to be composed and lead in a road playoff atmosphere that you'll give to your guys?
Just knowing that we have to come out and try to apply pressure first. You know, you don't want to come on the road and play on the back foot. If you do that, it's going to be a long night.
Coach talked about your ability to get downhill and attack. How do you establish that presence for yourself early for this squad?
Just do what we do best. I mean, try to get 2 feet in the paint. If they collapse, you pass it out. If they don't, you go finish. We have, you know, the best lob threat in the league, so I think that makes it easier for us to score, but it also tries to confuse them while we're getting downhill, and sometimes it confuses us because we don't know if we want to throw it up or if we want to try to finish. But just try to get 2 feet in the paint, and then, you know, whatever happens after that, usually good things happen for us.
Appreciate the time. Good luck tonight.
Yep, appreciate it.
Now let's swing our attention to the shorthanded Minnesota Timberwolves. Candace, they're blown out by 38 points in Game 2. The question clearly, how do you think they'll respond tonight?
Well, Minnesota has to set the tone. We've seen them do that in the previous series against Denver in a Game 3, a crucial Game 3. How do they do that? Well, they do that by getting to the charity stripe, knocking down easy free throws. They got to shoot better than 52% from the free throw line. They got to watch their turnovers. Obviously, the ball's going to be in Randall's hands, Ant's hands, McDaniel's hands. They have to do a better job initiating the offense, and they have to slow the Spurs down. They can't allow them to play fast. They've got to dominate the paint, and they do that through physicality, D-Wade.
Yeah, through physicality. And right here, Julius Randle's impact in this series to me will be felt with his physicality. Yes, the points, the rebounds, it matters. But making Wemby work, moving him off his spots is just important. Julius Randle, he's the emotional and physical tone setter. And Ant-Man, I know he's not 100%, but he cannot allow himself to be denied by physicality. He's too strong, he's too explosive, he's too dynamic. When he's attacking downhill, dropping that shoulder and living in the paint, that's when Minnesota feels different.
And I got to add McDaniels, who has grown before our eyes in these playoffs, career highs across the board in the regular season. He's bringing it to the playoffs. He's got to get to that mid-range where he's been successful, but he's also got to stay out of foul trouble because Minnesota needs him on the floor.
The Timberwolves are back home, where in these playoffs they have gone 3-0. The Spurs have lost 7 consecutive games in the Twin Cities. Coming up, it's Game 3, the Spurs, the Timberwolves, right here on Prime.
We've got a game! Big dog in the small. Upward, can't miss! A chance to be a hero! Wembanyama! Easy dude. Whoa. Mr. Him is here. Whoa. Mr. Him.
In here in downtown Minneapolis, beautiful day in the Twin Cities. This place will be rocking. It is Game 3. The series is tied 1-1. I mentioned the Timberwolves were shorthanded. We'll get into that as the game goes on. Manning the controls at the wheel will be 38-year-old point guard Mike Conley. And Allie had a chance to catch up with the terrific long-term guard in the NBA.
All right, thanks for taking the time, Mike, as always. With the way Game 2 unfolded, How has the last 48 hours been like in terms of how you guys have processed that loss, but also locking in on what will be required from the jump tonight?
Yeah, well, in the playoffs, you don't want to have a loss like that. You know, there's something about it that really eats at you. And but at the end of the day, you know, whether you lose by 1 or 100, you know, you come back to the next game, you know, it resets, and we have to lock in on that one. And that's where we're at right now. We're trying to come to a place where, what did we do wrong? All the adjustments that we need to make going forward, and getting our mind right for you know, a competitive game.
Got to give you some love. Ant the other night was raving about at season 18 for you, your ability to be so engaged and locked in still at this point of your career. What does that look like for you tonight in terms of what this team will need from you?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is more of the same, the leadership, the aggression, you know, both ends of the floor, just trying to make the play, the right play. Every chance I get, I know that I don't necessarily get the ball as much as I used to or have the energy to do that, all of that, you know, try to score 40 points or whatever, but I can still, you know, dictate a lot of things that go on, you know, with our team, our pace, and the way our mind is, you know, we approach these games.
Ant still your hero?
Yeah, he's still my hero. So he knows it.
Always. You're the best. Appreciate the time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
A 38-point loss in Game 2 for Minnesota. They hadn't lost by 30 points or more in any game this season, but they were struck in Game 2. How do they respond tonight? It's the Spurs and Timberwolves. It's the semifinals in the Western Conference. This is the NBA on Prime.
Back when you can. I know you're busy, but I'm gonna keep calling though. It's all love.
You have two powerhouse teams ready to go.
You try to control me.
San Antonio comes in having won 133 to 95 in Game 2. And we welcome those of you watching the Knicks and the 76ers. Kevin Harlan in Minneapolis. NBA playoffs presented by Google. It's the semifinals, and it's Game 3 in a series tied 1-1. It's the San Antonio Spurs on the road for the first time, taking on the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves losing Game 2 after winning Game 1. But boy, the way they lost Game 2, losing Dwayne Wade by 38 points, was significant. So San Antonio with the centerpiece, Victor Wembanyama. Who are you going to be watching early on for the Spurs?
Well, I'm going to be watching the guards. I'm a guard, so I'm going to keep my eye on De'Aaron Fox. I think the way he starts games for this team, if he's attacking, if he's getting downhill, he opens up opportunities and he opens up the game for everyone, Candace.
And for the Timberwolves, there's a look, and they are going to start Anthony Edwards, even with bum knees on both sides, not 100%. In fact, the coach told us, Candace, he's at about 60%.
And Edwards did not start in the first 2 games. First start tonight. We'll see. First game, he let the game come to him. Game 2, he was a little bit more aggressive, but you could see he didn't have it. We'll see his mentality start in this game because the Timberwolves need their man on the floor.
The winner of Game 3 in an NBA playoff series goes on to win the series 73% of the time. That's a big number. Our officials tonight, the crew chief is Tony Brothers. 32nd season. This will be his 224th playoff game. The referee, Tyler Ford, 11th season. And Jason Goebel, the umpire, alternate Eric Dalen, and in the replay center, Brian Forte. In the regular season, Minnesota beat San Antonio 2-1. And right off the tap, it goes to the Spurs, and here they come. They shot 50%, Dwayne, in that game.